コミュしなく大体超 VTuber の DJ リーデの DJ ユキです。はい、we're gonna continue Higurashi のナクコロに解。Tsumihoroboshi編。So we finished chapter 2 last week. We will continue to chapter 4 today. So we'll do chapters 3 and 4 today. Hopefully my throat will last until then. We will try our best, or Yuki will hopefully get through 3 and 4 today, or chapters 3 and 4 today. So yeah, let's get started. Oh yeah, so this is a summary. This chapter is chapter Tsumihoroboshi is focused more on Rena-chan. Was it the first chapter was they did a water gun fight, and KT tied basically. So that's where we ended with chapter 1, and in chapter 2, because they won and everyone else lost. The losers, Mion, Ika, and Sotoko had to do a batsu, a punishment, which was basically working at the Angel Mort in town. And all fighting games, and then Nena meets someone that she's familiar with. So that's where we leave off. There was a competition during in Angel Mort between Kiichi and Rena, and also some other people. But Rena, while walking out for a bit, met someone that she was not expecting. So that's where we leave it off. Hey, Mini-me, how are you doing? Konbanya. So that's where we leave it off for today. Yuki is fine. Yuki, glad you're doing good. You're doing okay. Alright, let's continue with chapter 3. I don't want to see any sweets for at least 3 days. You tried a little too hard, Keiichi-kun. Rena ate a massive amount of desserts too, but her stomach seemed to be just fine. I think girls have 4 stomachs. I think girls have 4 stomachs, or at least an extra stomach for desserts. It's very rude for you to say something like that to a lady. Oh wait, that was Keiichi that said that first. I think girls have four stomachs, or at least an extra stomach for dessert. That's very rude that's very rude for you to say something like that to a lady. This is what you get for being rude. Ah! Satoko poked me very hard in my bloated stomach. Oh! Aha! Stop it! Please don't poke my stomach. I'm going to throw up. Satoko and Rika-chan grinned mischievously upon hearing that. A chill ran up my spine. Why are they smiling at me like that and walking towards me so gleefully? No! Stop it! You cold-blooded demons! Oh, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Do you really think I'd let it slip it away? Me. Your bloated tummy is in danger, Keiichi. Your big wiggly tummy is so kawaii. Stop it! No! Rena joined Satoko and Rika in torturing me. We started making a lot of noise outside the restaurant. I desperately blocked my stomach from their attacks, but someone else hit me from behind. Ow! Who is it? Hello. Nice to see you, Kei-chan and his funny friends. Oh, Shi-chan! Hello! You weren't at the restaurant today, were you? I'm working the night shift today. I just changed after getting here. How can you go outside the restaurant wearing that uniform? How can you go outside the restaurant wearing that uniform? What? I'm not embarrassed. Especially not since you had to walk around in a way more embarrassing costume the other day. Damn it! I was just getting over it. She just reminded me that I'll never be able to get married. Anyway, I heard you went crazy in the restaurant today. We did. We had to, since it turned into a club activity, you know. You made a big mess in there. It looks like sis felt guilty, so she's helping the waitresses clean up the store now. Wasureta. Okay, it's just One, okay. One. I still think we should help them clean. Oh, don't worry about it. We can't let our customers do that. Plus, me made most of the mess. Yeah, that's right. Everyone nodded in agreement. She told me to tell you guys that you don't have to wait for her. You can go home now.
No, we're gonna wait. Right, everyone?
We didn't ask for agreement. Of course, we decided to wait without hesitation. Sadoko, Rika-chan, and I all nodded along.
Since we can't help her clean, at least that's the least we can do. While she says we can go home, I'm pretty sure she'd be sad if we really did leave.
Wow, Kate-chan, you grew up. I'm impressed.
He grew up alright. That's because we've been training him well. Right?
That's correct.
Mipa!
You girls already band together when it comes to things like this. I hate girls. They get along so easily just because they're girls. In the end, we ended up making a lot more noise, even dragging Shion into the mess this time. Shion, get back in here and help us clean. Where did you put the washcloths?
Oh no, I guess I have to go back to work now. Mi-chan, do you think it's gonna take a while?
What? Why are you still here? Are you waiting for this old man? Don't worry about me. Go home already. Go home already. Mion looked happy to see us waiting for her, but she always says the opposite of what she thinks. I wonder when she'll grow up to be able to just honestly say thank you.
We're friends, remember? We'll wait till you finish up. I wish we could I wish we could help you. I feel bad.
I told you, you don't have to wait for me. I'm going to wait for Shion to finish work tonight, and head to her house in Okinomiya afterwards. So you really don't have to wait for me. I do appreciate it though.
Are you sure?
I still feel bad.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Me too.
We have enough people, so really, don't worry about it. Go home before it gets too cold.
We understand. I hope you can finish cleaning soon. Go for it. Yay! Woo!
Thanks. Kei-chan, I trust you to escort the ladies home safely. Please protect them from assassins on their way home. Looking around, I didn't see any ladies who needed an escort. I felt more like I was the one who needed protection. Anyway, we said our goodbyes, making it easier for us to end the day and go home.
Goodbye, Mi-chan. See you tomorrow.
Yep, see you tomorrow. Alright, let's go then. We waved at Mion until she went back inside the restaurant. After that, we all got into our bicycles and left Okinomiya. On the way home, we talked about how exciting it had been today. It looked like everyone's still fired up. We had the horrifying punishment and the competitive hitting contest, which turned into an unprecedented battle involving all the customers and the restaurant. After all that, everything got crazy and messy. At first, the waitresses didn't know what to do, but after a while, they ended up joining in. We had a blast.
That was wonderful. Did you see what Tomita and Okamura did?
How amusing was it? It was.
I felt sorry for Kameda and Irie.
So did I, but
didn't you think my speech was great? Everyone in the restaurant was on my side after that. Keiichi, you might have been somebody really important if you were born in a different era. What? This idiot? He's much too full of himself. An idiot will always be an idiot, no matter when and or where he is born. If he was born 100 years earlier, he might have gotten printed on bills. Muttering with Keiichi-san's face on it, how pathetic. They would only be worth 200 or 300 yen at the most. Sotoko and Rika-chan kept their continuous chatter. I was a bit tired after today's event, so I listened quietly. I noticed the wind was getting colder. Our shadows were getting longer as well. Sotoko and Rika-chan still had a lot of energy, but what about Rena? She'd been very quiet. Maybe she also had a stomachache from eating too much. I looked at Rena to see. However, I was wrong. Rena was... I didn't really know how to describe it. She looked very satisfied. She looked like she really did have that much fun. She looked like she was as happy as she could ever be. I could tell without saying a word. When I looked at her, it made me realize that the word fun wasn't enough to describe what we did today. Seems like you had a lot of fun. What about you, Keiichi-kun? I had a blast too. I wish we could have as much fun tomorrow and the day after tomorrow too. I feel the same way. I wish from the bottom of my heart that the time we spent in the restaurant today will last forever. Wow, that's kind of poetic. Don't you agree, Keiichi-kun? Rena didn't notice that I made fun of her. Might have been a little tactless. Suddenly, I regretted having said it. I do. I totally agree with you. But you know something? Today is not the only day that's filled with happiness. A cool wind blew through her hair. She smiled at me, and for some reason, she looked very mature. Her appearance made my heart skip a beat. Every single one of our days in Hinamizawa is a wonderful, precious, and irreplaceable day full of happiness. Including the boring days when our club activities get cancelled. No, you think about things in a very mature way. No, I don't. Honestly, I'm still not done playing around yet. Maybe it's just because I'm so excited. Rena laughed, and that made me laugh too. So Toko thought that we were laughing because we said bad things about her, and she started bugging me about it. Once again, we made a lot of noise, like we always do. Well, Satoko and I are taking this turn here. Rika, why don't you walk with them a little further and turn where the tobacco store is instead? Did you forget our nightlight burned out? Without it, it's too dark for us to sleep. Oh, that would be quite the problem. Oh, I see. You need to go to Makino-san's general store. I guess we'll say goodbye here. You better take this turn or you'll have to go the long way around. Makino-san's general store? Oh, that's right. That's where it is. If they wanted to make a stop at the store before going back to the shrine, turning here would be the quickest way. Okay then, bye, Rika-chan. Bye, Satoko-chan. I'll see you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Farewell, Keiichi-san. Farewell, Reina-san. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Bye bye. Rika-chan and Satoko-chan waved at us when we took the narrow path through the field. Oh, it's hard to tell who's speaking. We can tell based on. Hold on, let's see the log. This is probably Keiichi. So ka, ja. So ka. Ja na, Rika-chan ni Satoko. Mata ashita na. Mata ashita na no desu. Okay, that was Rika-chan. それではですわね。ケイチさんに、りなさん。じゃあね。二人どうも。バイバイ。
Okay, it's easier to know speaking when looking at the Japanese text, just because Rika-chan, or they all have their unique ways of speaking, especially Rika-chan. And none of this, I could tell it was Rika-chan. Once the noisy girls were gone, it went especially quiet all of a sudden. It made me feel as if the sun had set in an instant. I could see my house by now, which everyone called the Maebara Mansion. I didn't notice it earlier, but how far... I didn't notice it earlier because of how far up we were. But my stomach was about to burst. The growling in my gut felt like thunder. My body must have been paying the price for me acting like an idiot earlier. There was no way I was eating dinner that night. I needed to go tell my mom before she started cooking. But before anything, I had to go to the bathroom. Oh, my stomach's hurting. Oh boy, it really didn't sound good. We got to the place where I always meet Rina in the morning and say goodbye in the evening. I really did have a lot of fun today.
Me too. Are you feeling okay, Keiichi-kun?
Nah, my stomach is growling. I guess we need to get some rest.
You need to train your stomach, huh?
Okay. La. You ate just as much as you ate just as much as I did. How did you fit all of that inside your tiny body?
That would be a woman's secret.
Rina giggled and tried to avoid giving me an answer. She'd probably hit me if I pressed her about it. If she punched me in the stomach, I'd throw up for sure. So I decided not to go any further. Goodbye, Rina. See you tomorrow.
Yes, see you tomorrow.
You know, I used to live in the city.
Yeah?
I never managed to enjoy each and every day like this before. But after moving to Inami-sama, you know, I think I found happiness.
I feel the same way. I moved to Inamizawa a year ago. I can't believe I'm as happy as I am, and I spend every time having as much fun as I do.
I see. I'm sure tomorrow will be the same.
That's right. We had so much fun yesterday and today. So tomorrow will be the same.
With all the fun we have every day, I sometimes feel like I'm going on a trip and fall sometime, and it kind of scares me.
You fall when you fall, no matter how carefree you are. That's why I believe we have to enjoy every moment as much as we can.
You're right. We gotta enjoy every day as much as we can.
Well, it's probably time to go. Please say hi to your parents for me. Well, I still have a lot of energy left. Ow. I'm gonna go treasure hunting.
What? You're gonna go now? You sure are resilient. I'm impressed.
What about you? Would you like to come along? I found a new trash pile that I haven't dug up yet. I might find something totally kawaii in there.
I'm sorry, but I gotta pass. Besides, looks like a storm is brewing. Think you should go straight home too.
Oh, I usually find something kawaii after when I had a wonderful day like today. So I'm going to go there for just a few minutes.
I felt sick enough that I didn't feel like going with her. If I felt better, I would have gone treasure hunting with her for sure. She didn't want to go home yet because she didn't want the fun day to end. That's exactly how I felt too. I understand. Bye then. I hope you can find something kawaii.
Yep, thank you. Bye bye. Keiichi-kun waved over and over as if he didn't want to say goodbye yet. But after a while, he was gone. Well, I had to go too because I was going to go treasure hunting. I love kawaii things.
I had such a wonderful day today that
I'm sure that I'm going to get lucky at treasure hunting. I definitely will find some wonderful treasures. I pedaled my bicycle with determination. My house was nearby, but I took another street that led to the dam construction site. It might have been okay to go home just then, but I hesitated to go since I didn't want to be seen. I had so much fun today, and I wanted to continue feeling happy as long as I could. It was really getting late, but I felt like it was getting dark faster than usual. Just like Keiichi said, the clouds in the sky were getting darker. Oh, just like Keiichi-kun said, the clouds in the sky were getting darker. It might start to rain hard. Might start raining hard. But that doesn't mean I have to go home already. Stop it, Elena. You had so much fun today. You have to stay happy as long as you can. I'm happy. I enjoy every day. Elena, say it. Say the magical words. Watashi wa shiawase. 毎日がとっても楽しい。ほらレナ、言ってみよう。いつもの魔法の言葉。 いつもの魔法の言葉。は、Oh. Don't be embarrassed. You're not dumb or anything. I might be able to enjoy every day even more if I were dumb. If so, dumb is what I want to be. Oh! I'm gonna find something so kawaii and take it home with me. There, I said it. I'm sure I'll find something kawaii. As long as I believe it's kawaii, anything that can be that way. I should fill my heart with happy memories today and yesterday. I should look forward to the happiness I'm going to receive tomorrow and the day after tomorrow too. I reached the damn construction site. A mountain of trash loomed before me. I parked my bicycle and walked down the mountain of trash and scrap. This place is my castle. It would be incredible if anyone else came to this mountain of trash. I came here many times and I usually stay for a long while, but I've never seen anyone walk by. This place is the village blind spot. I heard many people came here during the dam wars, but it was all abandoned after that. The villagers no longer need to come here, and some people even forget about it entirely. It seems like they dump trash here at midnight, but I've never seen a truck actually dumping trash, at least. If they dump new trash more often, it gave me more time to kill. But it looks like it's not gonna happen for a while. I walked down the slope of the trash pile all the way down to the bottom and headed behind another pile. Nobody ever comes here. I've come here many times and I usually stay for a long while, but nobody has ever come to mess up this place. Not even the other kids from my school come here. They all believe that the arm of the manager of the construction site is buried somewhere in the trash piles, and they also believe the whole place is haunted. They told me that the ghost with one arm still wanders around here, looking for his missing limb. Sadly, I haven't seen the ghost either. I'm not scared. In fact, I rather like to meet him. I wouldn't mind helping him find his arm. If he's feeling lonely, I want him to be my conversation partner. There's a station wagon behind the trash pile. It doesn't have tires, but other than that, it looks like a station wagon. The station wagon is my secret hideout. Unfortunately, the sliding door and rear doors don't open, so whenever I want to get in, I have to enter from the car from the passenger seat and crawl back from there. Of course, I take off my shoes at the passenger seat. When you look at it from the outside, it just looks like a dirty abandoned car. But on the inside, it's nice and clean because I had swept it out and decorated a little bit. It took me a long while. The back seats were laying flat because I wanted to have as much space as possible. I found a mattress in the press pile and put it into that space instead. It was a bit dirty, so I brought a bed sheet from home and covered the mattress with it. I put my favorite cushions on top, and with that, it turned into a perfect bed. I put cushions and stuffed animals everywhere. That's not all. Look at this. I have a bunch of sweets here too. I have a bag of fruit candy in 4 different colors, and some cookies. But they're going bad. I'll have to throw them away. My pear-shaped water bottle was empty. When I come here to spend some time on Sundays, I usually bring this water bottle with some sweetened tea in it. I have a box of tissues, a flashlight, extra batteries, and other daily necessities in there. I also have a few books to read in order to kill some time while I'm at it. And I have this. What do you think about this? Look! Ta-da! My hideout is suddenly lit up thanks to the table lamp. There's an electric outlet on the side of an old nearby construction office. I thought they cut the power years ago, but to my surprise, I was wrong. Electricity is still being supplied to the outlet. When I found tons of extension cords, I came up with the idea to connect them all and make the electricity come all the way to my hideout. Now I can spend time here comfortably with some sweets, books, and lights. If I wanted to, I might be able to spend a night here. But I may catch a cold since it gets very cold at night. See? This is a very nice hideout, isn't it? At first, I thought somebody would find it and mess with it. But that doesn't happen so far. That's because nobody comes here. And everyone forgot about this place. This is how this place became my perfect secret hiding spot. Fortunately, I ate so much that I'm still full. I can tell them that I was playing with my friend at our house and ate dinner there. I'm gonna stay here for a while and relax, and I'm gonna treat myself. I loved the water gun battle yesterday. My heart had been pounding when I fought one-on-one with Keiichi-kun. I also had great fun in Angel Mart today. I never experienced such a crazy game with so many people in my life. I was still feeling the after effects, and I was sure I'd have a dream about it tonight. That was why I wanted to bask in these happy feelings. That was why I was going to treat myself in here. I should take off my shoes and stretch my toes. I should cherish the time when I can be myself. Once I took off my shoes, I felt so relaxed I didn't want to put them on again. I played all day and I was very tired. The treasure hunt could wait. As it got darker, the light on the table lamp became encouraging. It really was getting dark faster than usual. All of a sudden, I heard the sound of raindrops hitting the roof of the car. Pitter patter, pitter patter, pitter patter. Why did it suddenly do that? The interval of the drops got shorter and shorter, and then it became a continuous sound. I began to hear thunder. Even though it was raining heavily, it remained very quiet inside the car, making me feel like I was in a different world. It was my castle after all. I felt a bit cold, but I unfolded my big blanket and hid under it. I'm here alone, under the warm blanket that has my scent. Even though nobody knew where I was at the moment, and I feel like I was left alone in the heavy rain, I still feel secure and free from anxiety for some reason. I felt like this heavy rain was keeping my enemies away from my castle. I liked it that way. This place is full of small happiness. It's full of my favorite things. That's why I'm happy whenever I'm here. When I put another blanket over me, I felt as warm as if I were in bed. I listened to the soothing sounds of raindrops hitting the scrap iron in the trash heaps, and it made me feel sleepy. This is a castle of trash. This trash came here because nobody wanted it. This is where it lives. This is a country where unwanted refuse lives together. I felt like I fit in here. But at the same time, I knew it was a temporary place for me, as there's somewhere I had to go back to. No, I shouldn't think about things like that. Whenever I realize that I don't belong here, I remember I'm in the middle of a very dirty pile of trash. I should just doze off for a bit longer. Thinking is poisonous. I wanted to keep myself out of that poison, so that the kindness within me could stay pure. A little bit longer. Just a little bit longer. And I closed my eyes. My mother was a very busy woman. The harder she worked, the more her work was valued, and she kept being promoted. She sought to go higher and higher. She was always shining, and she was also my hero. My mother started her career as a fashion designer at a small clothing factory in Okinomiya. My father was a designer too. They met through their jobs and soon got married. They lived in a small apartment in Okinomiya, but they moved to my grandma's house. They moved to my grandma's house, our current house, in Hinamizawa, when she got pregnant with me. We lived there until before I went to elementary school. Now that I think about it, that was the happiest time of my life. I felt happy every day, and I believe without a doubt that tomorrow would be the same. I was so happy that I was so happy I took it for granted, and I didn't even feel the happiness. I really did feel happy every day. I was small at the time, and I really didn't understand what was going on. But it seems like the company my parents were working for was having financial difficulties. So my mother and a few young designers started talking about leaving the company and going independent. After many things happened and the situation grew complicated, they got an offer to work at a big design firm in Ibaraki, and they took the offer. At the time, I heard my mother saying many difficult words like limited partnership and business alliance, but in short, she wanted to do was move to Ibaraki. My mother and her peers were hired because of their talent, and experience made them immediate assets at their new company. However, my father wasn't one of them. Unfortunately, my father wasn't as talented as my mother. So moving to Ibaraki meant that my father had to give up being a fashion designer. My mother's new company had high expectations of her talent and promised her a responsible project. She didn't want to waste her growing talent and passion by living in a rural town like Hinamizawa. So my mother convinced my father to quit his job and move to Ibaraki to support her and to help build her career. Back then, moving meant that I had to say goodbye to my close friends. I didn't want to move, and I kept crying about it. After we moved to Ibaraki, my mother was a big success. Not only did she have great leadership skills, she was full of energy, and I believe she made the best use of her talents to succeed. She came home late every night and barely had any days off. When she had a big project, she often stayed entire nights at her office. But when she came home, she always looked fulfilled and wore a happy smile that she never wore when she was in Hinamizawa. She was shining, and I remember I always wanted to shine like her when I grew up. On the other hand, my father wasn't doing so well. He couldn't find a job as a fashion designer, so he took a clerical job at a small company, but he kept changing positions. He couldn't use the experience that he had cultivated, and it was a very hard time for him. But he was very understanding. He started to take care of things around the house for my mother, who got busier and busier, having one project after another. He cleaned the house, did the laundry, and came to my school events. However, he couldn't cook. He did cook rice, but always brought side dishes from a grocery store. We ate dinner without my mother more and more often. I guess she's busy again. Every time I said that, I guess she's busy again. Every time I said that, he always told me, your mother is working very hard, so let's support her, Lena. That's what he always told me. I decided to help my father with the cooking. I thought it was a good idea to learn how to cook, since he wasn't good at it. Whenever my mother cooked, I helped her and tried to learn how to cook from her. She apologized for not having enough time to cook for us, but she was very happy that I was learning. I think I wrote in my school yearbook that I wanted to be a clothing designer in the future, just like my mother. But apparently I lacked my mother's exceptional sense of style. She used to tell me, taste is something that you're born with, not something that you cultivate. I remember I was discouraged to be a designer because of that. That's why I decided to reach her by getting better at things she wasn't so good at, instead of trying to be like her. I wanted to be good, not only at cooking, but also at doing things around the house, such as cleaning, doing the laundry, and grocery shopping. I remember my father was really happy that I did all of that for him because he wasn't good at it at all. He couldn't find a job and spend a lot of time at home, So he stayed. He seemed to enjoy spending time doing housework with his daughter more than anything. I started to become better and better at filling in for my mother, and she started to get too busy to do any housework at all. So she moved on to a more responsible position at her job. She took me out to many places as if to compensate for leaving me alone all the time. She used to say, "Let's go eat something delicious without telling your father," and took me out to a restaurant. She took me to high-class restaurants and amusement parks. Sometimes it was only me and my mother. Sometimes it was with her friends from work. She took me to a beach barbecue one summer with those friends. I was introduced as her daughter, and every one of them pampered me. I still remember there was this one guy who particularly doted on me. He was a good-looking young man. I called him uncle once, and he got mad at me. He was nicely tanned with dyed brown hair. This young man often came with us when we went out. My mother took me somewhere, and she usually made several phone calls for her work during the day. And sometimes she took me out to a place where she could also do her work at the same time. So I didn't feel awkward when people from work came with us. But I always preferred to be alone with her. So I was happier when we could do that. One day, she took me to a very high-end part of town. Of course, she spoiled me whenever we went out. She bought me things and let me eat whenever I wanted. But she especially spoiled me on that day. She took me to many expensive-looking boutiques and accessory shops. She said she was about to buy me something, but I told her not to get it because it didn't look good on me. Without hesitation, she bought it anyway. I remember there's so many zeros in that price tag. On that day, I realized my mother's design work had made her a very successful woman, and she was earning a lot of money. We took a break at a ridiculously expensive-looking restaurant that probably charged 1,000 yen for a glass of orange juice. My mother clapped her hands and spoke to me with a smile on her face. She asked me, "Nina, would you like to make your dream come true?" When I was in kindergarten, my teacher gave students a topic to draw a picture on. The topic was my dream, and I drew myself eating a mountain of fruit parfait all by myself. What my mother meant to say was that she was gonna make my dream come true for me. It was a normal day. It wasn't my birthday or anything, but since my mother always spoiled me when we went out together, I didn't feel awkward about it at all, and I accepted her offer with a happy smile. There were 5 or 6 fruit parfaits in front of me. Wow, that's a lot. I remember it looked exactly like the world I drew, and I felt like I was floating in that dream world. It was too much for us to finish, but we dug out our spoons into it as if we were playing in the mud, and we enjoyed eating it together. It was my first time to experience getting full by eating only fruit parfait, and I remember I was very happy. I enjoyed tasting the happiness and chatting with my mother. Nina-chan, you remember the man who went to the movie and had dinner with us the last time? Are you talking about Uncle Akihito? Akihito Ji-san?
Oh, I know where this is going. Oh no. Oji-san, okay. Oh no, I know where this is going.
Oh, oh, I can't call him that, or he's gonna hit me. Ina-chan, do you like Akito-san? I hate him. He always teases me. That's because he likes you. You got along well with him at the barbecue? Well, I get along with him every now and then. Every now and then. My mother laughed. I don't know why she brought up this subject. But I didn't really pay attention to it because I was too young. Now that I think about it, she was breaking the news.
Oh no. Oh no.
I just didn't notice it.
Ina-chan, who do you like better? Who do you like better? Your father or me?
You. It wasn't that I hated my father or anything, but I thought giving her that answer was appropriate after she spoiled me so much.
If I said I was going to live in another house away from your father, which of us would you like to live with?
Huh?
I'm thinking about divorcing your father and getting married to Akihito-san.
At that time, my mother was a very successful woman. But I didn't know this at the time. But she was drafted by a headhunter to work at a bigger company, where she was promoted to a higher and more responsible position, one where she could bring the most of her talent. Of course, the position wasn't the only thing she gained. Compared to my father's low salary, my mother was earning enough money to support a family of 3 and still have some left over. I kind of realized it from the way she spent money. The greater a position she achieved, the more she spent time with people at her level. All of them were bright and talented. Compared to them, my father might have looked unattractive to her. I like Akihito Oji-san, but I liked him as one of my mother's friends, not in the same way I like my father. I like my father and mother equally, so it was very shocking to me that my mother wanted to divorce him. I felt as if the ground below me was beginning to crack. That expression, I realized, actually fit my situation very well. I had to choose which side of the crack ground I wanted to stand on. My mother told me to live with her and her new house. Her new house meant the house Akihito Oji-san lived in. I thought a house was a sanctuary for a family. I believed that a house was a holy place where strangers couldn't easily enter. That's why I couldn't believe her. How could she let a stranger invade such a holy place so easily? Why would she hate my father? My mother looked down and didn't answer. I asked her another question. Why can't you stay with my father? I think that was the hardest and most heartbreaking of all questions for my mother to answer. In short, my mother had cheated on him. She loved another man who was more attractive than my father. It was just that and nothing more. I knew more than anyone that it wasn't my father's fault. First of all, he decided to move to Hinamizawa to support my mother as much as to move from Hinamizawa to support my mother as much as he could. For him, nothing good had come from that. Actually, I think he had a very tough time since he moved to Ibaraki. But he volunteered to be her support and tried very hard to do that. I thought my mother appreciated his support, so I took her decision as a betrayal. I told her that I disagreed with everything, including their divorce. I said it very loudly and made everyone in the store jump. Sure, continue your relationship with Akitoji-san, but don't divorce my father. I felt bad for him. I felt terrible for him. He has been doing nothing but support you patiently this whole time. How could you do such a cruel thing to him? I screamed as loudly as I could. Then my mother answered, "It's too late." Why? You haven't talked with my father about this, have you? It's not too late. I'm pregnant. I don't know whether my mother actually told him about the divorce in person. A middle-aged woman who called herself a lawyer came to the house several times to talk to my father on my mother's behalf. She sometimes called him too. My father begged the lawyer to let him speak directly to my mother many times, but it never happened. I hate these situations. I could tell by the way they talked that he had no clue when my mother told him she wanted a divorce. Well, again, I'm not even sure she told him in person. The lawyer told him not to meet my mother, not to call her at work, and many other things too, to top it all off. She told him not to see my mother ever again. He wanted to talk to her. He called some of their mutual friends, but he only found out the name of the guy he was having an affair with, and nothing more. He asked me, "Do you know the guy?" I told him, "I do." I also told him he was a funny guy and given me candy many times. I never forgot how he looked when I told him that. He hit me for the first time. He hit me so hard that his handprints stayed on my cheek for a while. Then he fell on the floor and cried loudly. And then I started to cry too. I didn't cry because he hit me. Akitoji-san was kind to me, so I liked him and talked to him out of courtesy. No, that wasn't it. Girls had to be kind to everyone. That's what I was taught. That's what I always thought. But I was wrong. I learned in this world that there are people you should be nice to, and enemies you shouldn't be nice to. The enemies are the one who would destroy my life with their very existence. Whether they mean harm to me or not doesn't matter. They were like weeds growing in a flower bed. Dandelions are innocent, but they take up all this nutrition for the tulips from the soil. That's why we have to pull them out. The dandelions did nothing wrong, but they're the enemy. Enemies are bad people. That guy was a bad person. I shouldn't have accepted him. I should have rejected him with everything I'd had. By doing so, I might have been able to disrupt the relationship. By doing so, I might have been able to make my mother feel like the relationship wasn't going to work. If I tried to do so, my parents wouldn't have to break up. My father and I cried together, but we cried for different reasons. I must have cried because it happened so fast and it didn't make any sense to him. I cried because I regretted that I let it happen when I had a chance to prevent it. My father stroked my cheek and opened his mouth to apologize, but he couldn't speak and just cried with me. One day, the lawyer let me see my mother. My mother asked me to live with her at her house again. I didn't know what to say, so I kept looking down and listened to her apologies. My father knew that I was going to see my mother on that day, so he handed me a letter and told me to give it to her. I don't know what he wrote in that letter, but for some reason, I was able to imagine what kind of things he wrote when I felt it through the envelope. After all, the letter on the envelope had a rough surface. He must have been crying while writing the letter, and his tears made the letter all wrinkled up when dried. My mother took the letter from me and told me that she'd read the letter later, and was about to put in her bag. I stopped her and told her to read it here. I wanted to see how she was going to take the last words that my father had left for her. But my mother didn't read it. She told me she wanted to read it alone later, and she put it in her bag. At the time, I realized, no, it was more than that. I should say I knew, because it was so obvious. I knew that my mother was lying. She had no intention of reading my father's letter. She was gonna throw it away after I was gone. But she lied just because she wanted to seem like a nice person in front of me. The slight curl in her eyebrows and lips told me that more clearly than anything else. At that moment, I finally knew something else. The guy that she was having an affair with wasn't the only bad person. My mother was also a bad person. Since that moment, the existence of my mother disappeared from my world like dry rice evaporating. I didn't have to hesitate about whom to live with anymore. I don't want to go to your house. The Yugu house is my home. I don't want to see you anymore. Please don't even call me. But Reina, if you live with your father, you won't have... At that moment, I hated my name for the first time in my life. Please, don't call me Reina ever again. I have to go home now. Goodbye. Those were my last words to my mother. No, to the woman who used to be my mother. After that, I spent many days without feeling anything. I didn't know if the days were long or short. I didn't know which season I was living in. It was supposed to be nothing out of the ordinary, not having my mother around, but every time my father saw things that reminded of her, like her toothbrush, her teacup, or her favorite things. She shed tears, which left me frustrated. That's why I decided to completely remove her belongings from the house. I roughly threw her things into a black trash bag. I started to do so frantically. By the time I knocked down her wardrobe, threw her music box hard on the floor, and broke her mirror, my mind was already not working properly. When I try to remember what happened after that, I feel disoriented. It's because the pills the doctor gave me back then made me feel disoriented and lethargic every time I took them. It seems that the dullness hit me especially hard, since every time I try to remember that time, it makes me feel disoriented and lethargic, just like the pills made me feel. I destroyed everything that smelled like my mother, but the thing I wanted to destroy the most might have been myself. Even after I threw all of her belongings away, I still couldn't stop feeling regret, and I decided to blame myself at the end. Maybe I was thinking that I wanted to do damage to her reputation and successful life by destroying her daughter, destroying herself. When I was about to reach that very last resolution, Oyashiro-sama came to me. Oyashiro-sama told me to go back to Hinamizawa. Yes, this is all because of his curse. Oyashiro-sama brought a curse upon the Ryugu family because we broke the rule. We broke his rule and abandoned Hinamizawa. After I figured that out, everything started to make sense to me. All the crazy things that happened after my mother was gone. The curse of Oyashiro-sama did all that to us. It was Oyashiro-sama's voice that was telling us to come back to Hinamizawa. That's right. We should have stayed in Hinamizawa. Everything went crazy because we moved. We had to go back to Hinamizawa. I started feeling disoriented again, and a dull pain ran through my head. It might have been a scream from within telling me not to push myself too hard to remember any further. The house we used to live in Hinamizawa was still there. My grandma was already passed away, and the house was the only property she left for us. I remember that I used to live in Hinamizawa, but all I remember was that it was a village that I used to live in right before I went to elementary school. I remember the village, the atmosphere of the village too, but that was all I remembered. I forgot the streets and even the names of close friends I used to play with. The neighbors knew that the son of the deceased woman had come back divorced, but they didn't know us and we didn't know them. It was almost like we moved to a new place. However, as far as I was concerned, it was still my hometown that I had come back to. At first, everything was inconvenient compared to life at Higurashi. It was hard for both of us to adjust, but we removed the old house. We renovated the old house, and it was only me and my father. Life here seemed to make my father forget his pain from the divorce. Mi-chan was very nice to me, and I started to get used to my new life too. I did everything around the house, and we gradually went back to a time when we used to live happily. Anybody can live a happy life. People sometimes say that Some people are born to be unhappy, but I believe that's just an excuse for people who don't even want to try. I don't want to give in to fate. I never want to give up trying to recapture the happy times that I lost. I want to be happy to the point where I don't even feel the happiness anymore. I'm not gonna cry anymore. I'll never cry again. I used up all my tears on that night. My father hit me. The curse of Oyashiro-sama is over because we came back to Hinamizawa. So I'm gonna live a happy life from now on. All of a sudden, big raindrops. All of a sudden, big raindrops hit the roof of the car and I suddenly recovered my senses. It was still raining hard. It had already gotten dark outside. The shadows the table lap created were very dark. It looked as if there's nothing else around me. If I turn off this light, would everything in this world disappear? I turn off the light. Darkness swallowed me. But the cold air and the sound of the rain didn't change a bit. And it made me realize that I was still in this world. The curse of Oyashiro-sama. Did the curse of Oyashiro-sama do these crazy things to my family? Or did I convince myself that it was an excuse? Because I didn't want to feel guilty about the divorce. Sometimes I'm not sure. Since that time, Oyashiro-sama hasn't come to me. I sometimes feel like it was a delusion I created because I was mentally ill, but he did come at that time. I'm sure about that. Am I right, Oyashiro-sama? I was unhappy after I left Hinamizawa, but I came back and I'm happy now. But where am I supposed to go now that I'm unhappy in Hinamizawa? Where? Stop it, Hina. Don't you think that you're unhappy? I am happy. I will be happy. I will definitely be happy. Suddenly, I felt that if this darkness swallowed me, I'd never be able to be happy again. I found the switch of the table lamp and turned it back on. When I looked at the clock, it was already past 11 p.m. I had to go home. I wouldn't have time to prepare my lunch for tomorrow. At least, I'd have to set the timer on the cooked rice cooker. It didn't look like it was gonna rain anytime soon. Stop raining anytime soon. I looked out the window to see the rain, but I could always see my reflection. I talked to that reflection in the window. I'm so glad that my father's happy. He'd been acting like he was dead for a long time. The smile on his face is a good sign that he's regained his former happy. He became miserable because of me. That's why I don't mind doing stuff for him until he regains his smile. And we become truly happy. When I stay here alone for a while, it gives him some time to be alone with her. Plus, I don't have to fake a smile. But then, my reflection in the window tells me, Nina, you're such a good girl. You're kind to everyone and love them equally. You can make anyone like you. But, did you forget something? In this world, there are people you should be kind to. And enemies that you have to reject with all you got. I thought you learned that lesson. No, I didn't listen to her. My reflection is always mean. She always says mean things and makes fun of my worries, but She always tells me things that I can't say myself. Let's go home, Rena. To your home. Forget about the meaning on the mirror. I was a bit hungry by then. After all the desserts I ate, I still got hungry. I almost forgot. Nina-san bought me a shortcake. I never had a shortcake from Angel Mart, but I bet it'll taste good. I'd have to give my thanks to Nina-san next time I see her. Nina-san speaks in a way that makes it very clear how she grew up, but I'm sure she's a good person. That's because she's good. She's so good to my father. I did everything I could to make my father smile, but I failed. On the other hand, Nina-san can put a big smile on his face so easily. I have to thank Nina-san. I have to thank her for cheering up my father, but I don't know why. I just don't like her perfume. Reina. Don't call me Reina. Reminisce on the past. Reina. Reina-chan. You're just like Yuuki. My summer picture diary. Today I went to a swimming pool with my mom. Akihito Oji-san came with us too. I don't like him because he's sometimes mean to me, but he's a very kind and very funny old man. He told me to call him Daddy for the day because he was going to play with me at the pool like he was my daddy. My mom called him Daddy, so I did too. Akihito Oji-san looked very happy and gave me a lot of money. My mom looked very happy and it made me happy too. I wanted to play with him again. I hope my dad can come with us next time. Oh, Rena! Oh. Bad people are bad. Rainy days are on their way. I opened the window, placed my cushion nearby, and prepared to enjoy the weather. But she came over and disrupted my peaceful evening. She always ruins my time of solitude. You look pleased. Oh, that's right. You ate lots of your favorite sweets today. This girl loves sweets more than anything. I like them too, but I can't eat like she does. It give me a heartburn if I ate the amount she ate today. She seemed to be very happy, so I'll leave her alone for a while. I've been making my favorite hot and salty food for the past few days, so she must have been quite pleased today. It was a very fun day for me too. I just wanted to enjoy the memory of I felt today by sitting here quietly enjoying the sunset. When I looked up at the sky, I saw some thick clouds forming there. The wind was a bit cooler than usual. It might start raining soon. People say that when deep-sea animals come up to the shallows, it's a sign of a big earthquake or tsunami. We saw a very rare fish that dwells in the deep water in the shallows today. Just as the ancient stories of the monsters say, people hate deep-sea monsters and tend to interpret them as omens of a disaster. It didn't matter if they showed up alive or dead. I said something interesting just now. Even if they showed up alive or dead, it was an omen of a disaster. Oh, it might start raining soon. Yeah, I know. You don't have to tell me. I'll get the laundry. I'll grab the
I grabbed a basket and went outside to take in the laundry. The clouds were getting darker. I normally like rain, but I didn't think I'd enjoy it today. Hi, chapter 3でした。I don't know. Seeing that, reading that stuff made me sick to my stomach. Doesn't make Yuki feel happy when that stuff happens. It really doesn't. Let's continue on to chapter 4. Let me drink a little bit. Or let me pour up some more tea before I start. Yeah, it's just the worst when we got cheating like that, or like when you suddenly find out that you're not wanted anymore. Really feels sucky when it happens. But anyways, let's continue. Alright, chapter 4! Hey, good morning. Hey, good morning, Rena. You're late today.
You're just early today, Keiichi-kun.
I'm not trying to pull aside the fact that I'm always late, but it feels good to defeat you once in a while.
Oh, I slept in this morning. I couldn't sleep last night.
Oh, you too. Nah, same here. I was still feeling yesterday's uproar. It took me a long time to go to sleep. Yesterday I had a lot of fun with my friends and went home still riding that high. I was too full to eat dinner. I kept talking with my parents about the great time I had over the past few days. I was so pumped up that I couldn't even go to sleep. Kinda sounds like I'm a little kid, but given that Rena seemed to be the same way, I felt better about it. No, I felt better wasn't just the right word of phrasing it. I should say, I'm glad to know that we're sharing the same feeling. Rena went treasure hunting after I left. I'm sure she found many adorable things. Went home and talked with her parents about how great the day was.
Hey, Mi-chan. Ohayo gozaimasu. Ohayo. Ah, Mi-chan da. Ohayo.
Oh, ミオンが先に待ってるなんて、今日は雪が降るかな。 Oh, you're here early today. Oh, let me retranslate it. Oh, Mion's early. Mion's here early. Looks like it's gonna. The translation was different. Well, the translation here is better watch out for pigs falling from the sky. Not a literal translation, but looks. I wonder if it's gonna snow today. Basically, it's it's the actual translation. But the the point is taken. I know I usually make you wait for me, but you really have to say it like that.
Keiichi-kun was unusually early this morning. Today is full of miracles.
You're one to talk yourself. It's gonna be another happy day today. I had fun the day before yesterday. I had fun yesterday, so I'm gonna have fun today for sure. I'm happy, and Mion is happy too. Of course, Rina, my other friends are equally happy. I'm not afraid to say it, and I wish these happy days would last forever. Hey, Mion, what are we playing today? What? For club? I don't know yet. Rina, do you have any ideas?
Let's see. We've been playing athletic games for the past few days, so I'd say something not athletic.
You're right. That's a very good point. Our club is not only about athletic performance, is it? Of course it's not. Our club members have to have brain, skill, and brawn to boot. So why don't we play some tabletop games today? Everybody was early this morning. We could enjoy our walk to school for once. After a while, we started talking about the upcoming festival. He told me that the festival is called Watanagashi, and that it was the biggest event of the year in Hinamizawa. Yesterday, my relatives gathered at my house in Okinomiya, and they started talking about you, Kei-chan. What? Me? What did the great people of the Sunsaki family talk about? Well, my Uncle Yoshiro is the store manager of Angel Mart, and he saw your performance yesterday. He really likes you now. So I started asking the others if they had heard about you, and I found out that most of them did. They said you're famous in Hinamizawa. Famous? Doesn't sound like they meant it in a good way. I'm probably more infamous to them because of the punishments you made me do. It's not only that. They said that you blend in well, that you're full of energy and you're a bit reckless. They said it's rare for a young man in this era to have those qualities. They were very impressed with you. I felt kind of embarrassed to know that people I haven't even met were speaking well of me. And so they want you to do something at the Watanagashi festival. You like to draw people's attention, don't you? Hey, don't assume things and don't decide anything without me. Don't you know I'm a quiet, lonely guy who loves to be alone? Lonely guy? You mean Cherry Boy, don't you?
What's a cherry boy? Oh, Keiichi-kun, what does cherry boy mean?
Whoa, stop talking about those nasty things. Don't stop talking about nasty things. Ladies don't talk about things like that. We were really still feeling the after effects of yesterday. Nina and I had made a lot of noise, teasing each other on the way to school. Nina watched us and laughed happily. Satoko and Rika-chan were already there when we arrived at school. They were also full of energy. Tomita-kun and Okamura-kun were there too. From that, I can tell they also had a good day yesterday. Everybody has been having a good time, really. In Hinamizawa, everyone's happy. It hasn't been a year yet since I moved here, but what is it? Well, I'm just glad that I moved here. What's wrong, Kei-chan? You feeling sentimental? I understand exactly how you feel. You feel like everything is perfect. That you've become happy since you moved to Inamizawa. I think this village has some kind of power to make people feel that way. Are you happy, Rena? Yes, I'm happy every day here in Inamizawa. Yeah, me too. Hey, don't leave this old man out of the cold. Let me in the conversation too. The sky was clear and full of thin clouds and pure white. The cry of the cicadas was telling me that summer would be coming earlier than usual. Watanagashi was around the corner. I'm sure we'll have a great time at the festival too. There'll be more and more fun days to come, I'm sure of it. Summer is just around the corner. Oh, look at that view. I would like to, what do you call it? I would like to go to, なんだっけ? Shirakawa go sometime. The place that's Higurashi Hinamizawa was based on. I should visit there someday still. I kind of have to. The last class of the day was finally over, meaning that it was time for club activities. I was sure it would be fun. I couldn't wait. But Mi-chan received a call and told us something had come and she had to go. So we didn't have a club meeting today. I was really looking forward to it. There was nothing I could do. But at least I could chat with Keiichi-kun on the way home. It'd be fun. Keiichi-kun sometimes says mean things, but he's very funny. When I chat with him, my depression goes away. Wait, what did I say? What did I just say? Am I depressed? I have so much fun every day, and I'm as happy as I can be.
What did I have to be depressed about? Well, it was obvious. Because of Nina-san, my father is happy now. Before he met her, he was like a lamp in broad daylight. Honestly, he was like the living dead. But after he met Nina-san, he started to smile like he used to when he was living with my mother. He enjoyed talking with her and started going out with her. You could probably say they went out on dates. No, he looks 10. No, 20 years younger. Nina's-san gets along with my father very well, and she's very kind to me too. There's actually no reason for me to hate her, but the bitter memories of my parents' divorce and my very many regrets were gradually eating away in my heart. Was it okay to accept that woman? Nina-san might be the same as how Akihito-ji-san turned out to be. Is she the enemy who takes my happiness away with her very existence? With or without bad intentions? Am I going to sit around until everything collapses again? Should I fight the enemy before it's too late? Nina-san comes to my house a little too obviously. Since my father started letting her stay the night, many of her belongings have turned up in the house. My father and I don't smoke, but there's an ashtray in the living room. The futon in our guest room is hers now. In the bathroom, there's a toothbrush and shampoo I'd never choose to buy. I started to feel awkward about these things, and that's when I started noticing it at the front door when I came home from school. Her perfume. I asked my father once if he was thinking about getting married to Nina-san. He looked a little embarrassed, perplexed, and confused. He told me, not yet. He knew I was hurt about the divorce. That's probably why he couldn't admit that he wanted to remarry. That's why he said not yet. He'd consider it, but not while I was still living with him. That's what he meant, I guess. There's only one reason why I wouldn't want him to get remarried to Nina-san. I feel offended that my sanctum, my family, is being invaded. I might be feeling selfish though. I know keeping my father all to myself means keeping him miserable like he was before he met Nina-san. He has a life to live too. He has the right to heal from the pain from the divorce and to live, to find his new love. He wouldn't have to go through that painful life if I had been prevented the divorce from happening in the first place. He has a right to a happy new life that lets him forget about the pain he never deserved. And I don't have any right to stop him. In fact, I have an obligation to try to return his happiness to him. I have to pay for my sin, my inability to prevent his divorce. What then should I do to make both of us happy? It wouldn't be difficult. All I need to do would be to give a silent approval of the relationship. My father tells me he won't get remarried while we live together. That means I should stop leaning on my family, be strong, and live on my own as soon as I can. Although, that means I can't... That doesn't mean I can tell him not to go out with her until that day. Ina-san comes to our house to see him despite her busy schedule. And she even stays at the night whenever her shifts permit. They're adults. I have no right to say anything against that. That's why I chose to give my silent approval to their relationship. And I tried to see her as little as I could. I got along with Ina-san on the surface. I know my father would have a hard time keeping face if we didn't, but it was a very exhausting and painful thing to get along with a person I really don't like. So whenever Ina-san comes over, I spend as much time outside than head home late. Mi-chan's club activities are the most convenient things to do to kill time. But there are some days when we don't have a club meeting. On those days, while I'm away, I will away my time at the garbage dump hunting for treasure alone. And that's how I started to make my secret hideout. My father can do whatever he wants with Ina-san at home. I don't have to see them together. I can spend my time peacefully at my hideout. I sometimes feel depressed about my life. I sometimes want to talk to somebody about it. But nothing will change, even if I talk to somebody. This is all I can do. The most important thing for me should be to overcome the sadness of losing my family as fast as I could and regain my own happiness. I have so much fun every day. I'm happy every day. Even on the way home, Keiichi-kun was talking about funny things that made me laugh. My feeling gloomy in spite of that was kind of rude. My father should be happy. I should be happy. I just feel sad because I still can't separate from my father. Compared to my unexpectedness of the divorce, Ina-san's invasion is a very slow process. I think Ina-san understands how I feel. She treats me very kindly, but she doesn't do more than that. I think she understands that I'd feel uncomfortable if she did. I respect Rika-chan because she's strong even without her parents. Compared to the pain of losing both of her parents unexpectedly, my problem is like nothing. I respect Satoko-chan's toughness too. She also lost her parents and was forced to live a painful life under her uncle and aunt. Compared to the cruel treatment she had to go through, my relationship with Ina-san is a blessed one. I keep feeling anxious but that's just because I'm still immature. And because I feel like I'm not ready to separate from my father. I have to be strong like Rika-chan and Sotoko-chan. I have to try my best to be happy. I'm gonna live with all my might in order to regain the peace of mind that I lost that day. My assumption that I'm not happy is just a mistake. I should appreciate the wonderful days I spend with my wonderful friends. Just by realizing that I'm happy, the world shines so brightly. Listen. It was just so cute. It was just so cute. So I screamed, "Omochikaeri!" I bet you did. You're an expert at making the most out of every day. I am, aren't I? I feel very fortunate to have a wonderful life and wonderful friends. How could I be unhappy?
You're right. In Hinamizawa, nobody becomes unhappy. Everyone stays happy. Hinamizawa is free from misfortunes.
He should have just stopped right there, but he just kept going.
I'm jealous of you, Rena. I wish I could be an idiotic optimist like you.
Oh, it sounds like you're insulting me. What if that's what I need to make every day wonderful? I wouldn't mind, would I? I don't have any worries. I feel like I do, but that's just because I'm immature, and I still want my father's attention. Come on, say the magical words. They'll cheer you up. Oh.
Huh?
It didn't make sense to say it now, but I was going to say it anyway, because this is my magical phrase that always cheers me up. Oh. Oh. Omochikaeri.
What's wrong with you? That's so like you, but still.
That's right. This is me, Lena. I'm not Lena. Lena still wants her parents' attention. Lena is a goofy and carefree girl. She knows that every day is full of happiness, and she has that kind of heart to appreciate it too. I should forget about the icky things. I should live a wonderful life free of anything icky. Icky starts with an I, and that's why I got rid of the I in Lena. I'm Lena. I'm gonna recapture the happiness I lost when I left Hinamizawa. I'm gonna overcome any pain and hardship. I can be happy because I got rid of the icky things. I'm sure there are only incredible things waiting for me.
I don't know. What is it? Oh, it's still eat. Oh, probably. Yeah, oh, 嫌なこと。Okay. わかったわかった。So it's I for icky, E for yeah.
Oh, incredible starts with an I too. I was almost home when my house appeared. I noticed something different there.
Oh, いいこと。Okay, that's right also.
There was a truck parked in front of my house. There's nothing on the back of it, but I could tell it brought something there. Because I saw some cardboard boxes, blankets, and ropes on the ground. From the front of the house, I heard two young men saying,
"Whoa, we'll be going now."
They passed me as I walked towards the front door. They were wearing some kind of work uniforms. They looked like delivery people. My father was about to close the door when he noticed me. Hi, Tadaima. What's going on? Tadaima. 何があったの?
Oh, Reina. I have a surprise for you. My father looked to be in a good mood.
I didn't know why he was, but whenever he smiled like that, I wanted to smile back at him. Uh-oh. His eyes used to look like those of a dead fish no matter how hard I tried to smile at him. But these days, he could put a big smile just to surprise me. He has been literally coming back to life ever since a year ago. When we moved back to Inamizawa. No. Ever since he started dating Irina-san. When I see him smile like this, I'm happy. But at the same time, I feel confused because I don't know whether I should thank Ina-san or not. Look, doesn't it look great? He took me to the living room. He was probably expecting me to go oh and ah. So whenever there was something in the living room or not, I was ready to go oh and ah for him. Wow, what? What is this? What did you do? I tried to sound excited and surprised. He was standing behind me, probably smiling with satisfaction at hearing my excited voice. I, on the other hand, was desperately trying to understand what was going on. For a moment, I thought I was in someone else's house. You see, the room had been completely redecorated. The furniture we had was all basically from the former house in Ibaraki. My parents bought most of the furniture when they got married, so it was all old and a little dirty. Some of them still had crayon scribbles when I was very little. But all of it was gone. Everything in the living room turned pastel colored, looking very sophisticated like the rooms you see in soap operas. The new carpet looked very tropical. The new curtains matched with the carpet. The new sofa looked very expensive. The living room in general looked like a resort hotel. The channel switcher of our old TV was broken, and we used to have to use pliers to change channels, but it was gone too, replaced by a bigger new one with a big screen. The room's lights also had been replaced with nicer looking ones. The living room looked like a totally different world under the new fluorescent lights. This looks great, Dad. What made you do this?
I did to get a fresh start. It's been a year since we moved here. I thought it was time for me to reboot and finally start a new life.
I suggested redecorating the house once in order to cheer him up, because he was still in pain after the divorce. But he wasn't interested in the time. He didn't want to get rid of the old furniture he had chosen with my mother, because he still couldn't get over her even though she cruelly broke up with him. I wanted to suggest it again when the time was right. I never thought he'd do it on his own initiative. That was a good idea. This beautiful living room makes me feel refreshed. I love it.
I knew you would. Jaina, you always wanted to have a rocking chair, didn't you? I haven't set it up yet, but look, I got it for you.
Oh, Dad, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, Oto-san, sugoi, sugoi, sugoi. This is fine, right?
Hey, this is for everyone.
I understand, but I'm not going to get off the chair once I sit on it. My father explained the details of his redecoration proudly. He told me that he only did the living room this time, but he's gonna redecorate all the rooms. He sure had become more active. There's some parts of the redecorations I didn't like, but I still thought it was great because it made him happy. I found the old furniture outside the yard. Are you going to throw them away?
Yeah, I think we should. Our delivery company is coming to pick him up later today.
Getting rid of the old furniture means putting an end to my mother. I hated the furniture because it smelled like my mother, and I tried to break everything once. I understand why my father wants to take this opportunity to get rid of them, but for some reason, this new living room makes me feel like I no longer belonged here. My father didn't choose this new furniture. Nina-san probably did. Most likely, my father and Nina-san decided to redecorate the living room and went out to the furniture store to buy everything. I tried to think positively. The reason why my father didn't want to tell me about the redecoration was probably because he wanted to surprise me. No, my father never really considers things that deeply. So I suppose he didn't tell me. He didn't tell me because he just didn't think he needed to tell me. I'm sure he didn't redecorate the living room to make me feel like I was no longer welcome. No, be negative, Reina. My father didn't have any bad intentions. He doesn't want to get rid of me. He doesn't think I'm the reason he can't get remarried. And yet, why did I feel sad looking at the old furniture in the yard? Why did I feel like I didn't belong? I realized the reason right away. The reason was me. To him, wanting to have a fresh start by getting rid of the things that reminded him of my mother might be an indication of his unconscious desire to get rid of her daughter. My father doesn't really consider things deeply, so he might not be thinking that I'm the reason he can't get remarried. But he understands that he can't get remarried while we live together. By staying with him, I'm torturing my father. It was my fault that he had to get a divorce. That's why I have to support him to help recapture his happiness. I couldn't just keep him all to myself. I have to start thinking about living on my own. I don't need to go to university. I should think about getting a job. But who would hire a kitty girl like me? Even if somebody did hire me, I wouldn't be able to earn enough money to live on my own. Maybe I should think about working as a hostess club, like Nina-san does. Only people only choose jobs that they can. People only choose the jobs they can. A girl like me doesn't have that many choices. Not a lot of companies would hire me or pay the amount of money that I need to live on my own. But, come to think of it, where's the place I belong? Whenever I end up feeling like this, I miss my secret hideout in the trash piles. I love to get under my blanket and feel the warmth on a cold night. The hideout gets hot and humid during the day and very cold at night. It's not a very comfortable place to spend time in, but it might be the place where I can relax the most, more than I can at my house. I shouldn't think like this. I shouldn't think that my house has been invaded by Dina-san. I should thank her for making my father happy. Dina-san isn't trying to kick me out of the house. She's trying to get along with me. But I'm not opening my heart to her. I'm the bad one. And I'm blessed. Satoshi-kun and his aunt didn't get along at all, and she abused him for a long time. Compared to him, my situation is a lot easier. Satoko-chan and Nika-chan lost their parents and they live together now. They've been through very hard times. On the other hand, I still live with my father. I should feel blessed. I shouldn't think that I'm unhappy just because of these things. I am happy. I am blessed. The trouble with me is that I still can't admit that I'm happy. My father kept talking proudly about the redecoration. I nodded at him with a big smile and let him keep at it. Oh, I almost forgot. Reina, can I ask you a favor? Sure. What is it?
I ordered 2 jackets from the clothing store. It seems like they came in today. I have to help the delivery company pick up the furniture, so can you go get the jackets for me?
Sure, which store is it? I wonder what jackets you got. I can wait to see them. No matter how they look like, I'm sure Rina-san picked them out for him. Although I don't mind going. I rather go to the store than listen to his stories about the redecoration of our living room. I got the receipt and asked him where the store is. Changed my clothes and left the house. I started pedaling my bike and looked at the old furniture in the yard for the last time. They used to be the object of my hatred, but for some reason, they now make me feel sentimental. Is it because I still regret the loss of my mother, even though I hate her? I couldn't let poisonous emotions take over my heart. I understand that in my mind, I just couldn't get rid of that feeling. The old furniture wasn't the only stuff that was kicked out of the house. There's also a lot of junk that I brought home from the landfill. My father was probably going to throw that away too. He doesn't like the junk I collect. He probably let the delivery company take it all together with the old furniture. Just like an animal that rubs its scent on its home in order to feel secure. I collected all the junk in order to make sure I could still stay there. No, that's not it. I wanted to bring them to my house because they were abandoned by their former owners. And they needed a place to live. The store where my father ordered the jackets from is a fancy boutique. It's hard to believe my father would shop at a store like this on his own. I could tell right away that Ina-san took him here. I handed over his receipt to the cashier. A short time later, the store manager came out wearing a perplexed look. Yuuki-san, I'm very sorry, but it seems like the truck carrying your jackets is stuck in traffic. It should be here soon, though. He said that the driver called a while ago. Told him he just got off the highway and would be here in about an hour. I didn't need to know all the details, but he explained them to me anyway. I asked him if I should come back tomorrow. He insisted I should wait because the truck would be coming shortly, and he urged me to take a seat on the sofa. But I didn't really feel comfortable waiting there, so I told him I'd be back soon and left the store. I wondered if there are any fast food restaurants nearby. I might have to go all the way back to the station. I looked around and found a coffee house. The glass in the door was black, so I couldn't see inside. But there was a poster saying the price for a cup of tea is lower than normal for women on weekdays. I'd just be getting a cup of tea to kill some time. It should be okay. But still, I hesitated to go inside before opening the door. Her first impression of the coffee house was the smell of cigarettes. It's normal for coffee houses to be filled with cigarette smoke. It was like a requirement. But Nana-san still regretted her decision. While she was thinking about leaving, the proprietor spoke at her brusquely and strode her to a table. Nana gave up on the idea of leaving and sat down. The atmosphere in the shop was far from clean. From a clean, normal coffee shop where you could go to simply enjoy coffee and cigarettes. It was more like a place where vulgar people would hang out. Nana didn't feel comfortable at all, but what bothered her the most was the laughter of a man and a woman sitting together at the back of the shop. Her table was behind a planter, so depending on how one looked at it, one could say that she was in the spot most protected from their laughter. But Rena looked as though she wanted to leave as soon as she finished her tea. The bell hanging from the entrance door rang, letting her know the customer just came in. It was a little surprising for her that a coffee shop like this could draw in so many customers. Rena
Lena peeked at the newcomers from the behind the planter. There were two of them. They look like a vulgar man. They look like vulgar men. The kind that you didn't want to get involved with the instant you saw them. The proprietor tried to show them to a table, but they ignored him and walked towards the back. They walked up to the couple who had been laughing loudly and greeted them with a bow. Hey, you finally made it. Sit down. The couple stopped laughing, and the man told the newcomers to sit down in a threatening tone of voice. As instructed, the two of them took a seat. So, what happened? We're very sorry. We tried to... Cut it, dipshit. Just hand it over. The two of them looked at each other before they each took an envelope out of their pockets and put it on the table. The man roughly grabbed the two envelopes and tore one of them open. Inside, there were many wrinkled 10,000 yen bills, bound in a bundle with a rubber band. He opened the other one to make sure it had cash in it, and then threw it to the woman. Count 'em! Hey, don't order me around. This was originally my money, you know. Shut up! Just count 'em! The man yelled at the woman. She licked her thumb, looking annoyed, and started counting the cash expertly. The two newcomers hung their heads while she counted. Lighting a cigarette, the man waited for her to finish counting. Good, it's all there. The woman said... Good, it's all there. The woman said that after flicking through the last bill. The newcomers looked relieved. The man, however, didn't look satisfied as he stared at the bundle of bills the woman was holding. Ichiko, how much is there? What? I told you, it's all there. I'm asking you, how much is it? I told you, all the money I lent them. No, idiot. I'm asking if they paid you the interest. The man and Ichiko yelled at each other. Even though they were making all that noise, the other customers acted like they didn't hear anything. Hey boys, there's only 2 million there. What's going on? The two of them were trying to find some excuse to make. It seemed like this behavior had touched the man's nerve, as he started looking furious. The fuck is this? I asked you, what's going on? You'd better stop talking. His angry voice echoed through the shop. He hit the table hard and dropped a glass on the floor. The noise thickened the tension in the atmosphere. We're very sorry. Being sorry doesn't give her the interest, does it? I don't mind calling the police to solve our problem, you know. Please don't. The two newcomers must have just been in an extremely vulnerable position. They bowed so deeply that their foreheads almost touched the table. I called you here because I thought you wouldn't want me to involve the police. But then you act like you don't fucking care, huh? We're sorry. We're very sorry. Well, you could pity them. The newcomers looked as vulgar as the man looked threatening them, making it hard to decide whether you should feel sorry for them or not. After a while, Ritsuko opened her mouth as to offer them help. Chit-chan, don't be so mean to them. I'm sorry. My guy gets mad my guy gets mad easily when my money's involved. You don't have to add the money part. I'm getting ticked because they're bitching at ya. Jeez, saying these stupid things won't get you anything. Huh? The man pulled Mitsuko roughly into his arms and friendly kissed her lips without caring about the other customers. Their kiss wasn't like the lovely ones the normal couples would share. It looked obscene instead. He let her lips go to take a breath, kissed them again, and repeated that for a while. After a while, he finally got bored of kissing and let her go. He gets really mad when it comes to me too. He's impossible. So what? This woman's like a part of my body. Putting dirt on her means putting dirt on me. Whoever tries to do that is in for a bloodbath. You remember the guy with the comb over? I forgot what you did to the guy after you took him outside. Oh, haha, I remember him. He challenged me, wanted to take it outside. He said he did karate, and so I got a little excited to see what he had, and I punched him in the stomach, and then he just kneeled down on the ground. I was disappointed, so I took his pants and underwear and made him clean the public toilets with them. Ugh. See, I'm helping society. I deserve an award for that one. I can't believe you made him do that. You're so gross sometimes. They started laughing loudly, as if they were doing nothing, like they were doing earlier. Their laughter obviously intimidated their companions. Listen to you two. Tichan's actually in a very good mood today. Usually he start yelling, this isn't enough money, and you'd be thrown into the OG river naked by now. But we truly apologize for the inconvenience. Well, you forget about the interest, but you did put together all the rest of the money in time. I'm impressed. So I'll be nice and take that into consideration, you know. Anyway, his interest is a little high, but it's only 5 if you pay today. If you wait even a day longer, it'll be doubled. And if it's doubled, I don't think you'd be able to pay it no matter what you do. So I'm gonna make you a deal. Tichan, would you give us a moment? Sure, I guess it's okay. The man left the table with a grin and headed to the bathroom. He was far too amenable to leave to that request, as if they planned for him to leave the table that moment. Yutsuko made sure that he was in the bathroom, then took some papers out of her bag and spread them out on the table. You're young. You don't want to ruin your life because of an outlaw like him, do you? So I recommend you pay all the interest today. If you do, you can cut ties with him. We understand that, but we can't get 500,000 yen like that. I understand. I bet you really tried to collect that 2 million yen. I understand there's no one that could help you out with another 500,000. They must have done their very best to collect even the money they brought today. So it must have been impossible for them to collect even a dime from anybody now. They held their heads and told her that. However, take a look at this. I made this for you. The guys looked at the paper on the table and muttered under their breaths. You don't need collateral or a joint guarantor for this, so the interest is a bit high. But with this,
You can take out a loan of 500,000 yen right away. Even with interest, this is a lot better than Tit-chan. What do you think?
It would be easy for anyone to guess what Ritsuko was trying to force them to do.
If you show him this with your signature on it, I'm sure he'll let you off. It's your choice, though. If you need a pen, you can use mine. Here.
They read the small print out of the documents, and they were stunned by the outrageous interest rate. Ritsuko didn't force them to do anything. She just looked out of the mirror and smoked a cigarette. After a while, the man returned from the bathroom.
Hey, you come to an agreement?
They looked at him, steeled themselves, and took the pen.
They're gonna borrow money to pay for your interest. It's only 500,000 yen, so they can pay their debt soon if they work really hard.
That's great. I'm impressed. Men get tougher when they have something burning them. They must have planned this from the very beginning. The man and Ritsuko got what they wanted and grinned at each other. There are many things to fill out on the documents. It was taking them a long time. The man and Ritsuko, already knowing that, started talking amongst themselves. Yeah, I know this. The Satoko's. Ritsuko, how's your husband in Hinamizawa doing?
What? He's not my husband.
What's going on with him? I heard he's a lot of money. How much do you think you can squeeze out of him?
Well, you see, you'll be so surprised. I heard his ex-wife gave him a settlement when they divorced, right? But I just found out that she gave him a lot.
How much is a lot?
He's about 50 million yen in the bank. He's a big spender.
Wow, that's real big. So how much do you think you'll squeeze out of him?
He's a big crush on me. He buys me anything I want. Anything. He's not cheap like you. I might get serious about him.
I don't think so. Your body won't be satisfied with anything but me.
Stop it, not there.
So, what's the plan?
I'm thinking about telling him that I need some money to get rid of my ex-boyfriend.
How much are you gonna ask him for?
She whispers into his ear.
You're a scary woman. Let me know if you need an actor for your play. I'll be your scary ex-boyfriend.
Excuse me, we're finished.
Great, then bring it over to the loan company. Let's go take care of the check, would you? The man pat them down on the shoulder and then walked to the door. Another person was about to enter and they nearly ran into each other. The man probably wouldn't make way for the person considering his personality. But when he noticed who the person was, he stepped aside. The person looked as vulgar as the other men. He was wearing a black suit with glasses on. He wasn't that big, but he was stern. With his stern look, he was very intimidating. It was clear at a glance that he was a gangster, a very professional one at that. The man who was behaving badly earlier looked a little nervous in front of him. As Ritsuko finished paying the check, she noticed a man in the suit. Oh, General Manager? Good morning, sir. The man in the suit said nothing. He just raised his chin as if saying fuck off. Ritsuko and the others bowed to him and left the shop in a hurry. The proprietor noticed the man in the suit and also greeted him with a bow. Who could it have been? He appeared to sedate compared to the other men. He appeared sedate compared to the other men, but he must be dangerous because he made even them step aside. Everyone in the shop thought the same thing and tried not to look at him. The man in the suit looked around and found the menu on the wall. The proprietor looked up at him hesitantly. Hey waiter. Yes? Is there anything bother you, sir? You have this seasonal dessert, sweet something or other today? Huh? Oh, well, actually, we aren't running that today, but, well, if you insist, then we could make it specially for you. Well, if you're not selling it, you're not selling it. I'll just come back some other day. Ah, yeah, that's who I thought it was. I thought it was him. I thought it was Kasai that... Hey, Kasai! He said that he'll make it for you. Take his offer. We came all the way here. The girl seemed to be the only one who couldn't read the heavy atmosphere in the shop, and she came in laughing cheerfully. It was Sonozaki Mion's twin sister, Shion. Shion pushed Kasai into the store while he hesitated. She looked at the girl who was sitting down and stopped at her tracks. Huh? Oh, it's you! Hey, Rena-san! Rena-san, how are you doing? Eh? Oh, Shi-chan? I'm surprised to see you here. Huh? Are you here by yourself? You're waiting for somebody? Is it my sis? Or maybe it could be Shi-chan. Ah, Shi-chan. Who is this? Huh? We talked about Kasai here? He's like my bodyguard. He'll protect me when my life is in danger. Won't you? I'll give my life for your sake, if that's what you want me to do. Wow, Kasai, if you were 20 years younger, I would have fallen for you. He looks scary, but he's a very funny guy. This is Yugo Rena-san. He's Sis's friend. My name is Kasai. Nice to meet you. Kasai-san. You know the people who walked just past you? Kasai nodded, indicating he was familiar with them. Who are they? I've never seen them before. The man is Hojo Teppe, a skunk of a human being. Shion seemed to know who he was once he heard the name Hojo. And the woman? Mommy Yadina. I believe that's her business name. Her name is Mamiya Ritsuko, I think. She's a hostess at Flower Road. Kasai-san. Do you know what she is to her? They look like a couple to me. Hojo is Nina's pimp. They're very, very bad people. So you should never get involved with them. How bad are they? I'll talk it. Let me think. provide my thoughts in a second. I'm gonna press him down for an answer, but Kasai seemed to back down a little from that pressure. It's more curious to stay out of a woman's private affairs. How bad are they? Please don't ask. How bad are they? Dana kept asking the same question until she gave an answer. Shion sensed how desperate Dana was and cut into this conversation. Kasai, why don't you just tell her? I don't think she's asking out of curiosity. Am I right, Nina-san? There's a tension developing between Nina and Kasai. Shion seemed to be the only one who couldn't read the mood. Kasai finally opened his mouth. They're both skunks, really. I heard that they make a living by gambling and blackmailing people. I also heard that they set up badger games.
What's a badger game?
Haha, a badger game is like a marriage fraud. The woman finds a catch, a man who has money, and begins a relationship with him. Then her boyfriend shows up, catches them in the act, and blames the guy for stealing his girlfriend. Then blackmails him for money. First, the woman makes him buy expensive stuff for her. Then she makes her boyfriend take all of his money. There's a rumor that she got herself a big catch recently. Wow, whoever that is, I'm so sorry for him. Well, the guy had some fun with her too. I guess he gets what he deserves. That's a little harsh, Shion-san. A man sometimes falls for a woman very easily. Oh, really? I wonder who you fell for. Waiter, bring the desserts for us. Please, wait. Where did she go? She just took her leave. Dana was already gone. The door, which had just closed, looked as if it was the only thing that knew where she went. Oh my god. uh, everything started coming together like as soon as they started talking. Oh my god. My mind was like when I saw Nina's sprite, I was confused for a second. I was like Nina and then saying Ritsuko. So I didn't want to say something then I saw Teppe, Hojo Teppe's sprite, and I'm like, wait, he looks familiar too. Oh no! And the man and his ex-wife. It's probably Rena's dad. Oh no, Rena-chan. Oh no! Why? Why do you have to go through this, Rena? It's not fair.
When I got home, the door was locked. I used my key to get in, and I found a note in the living room. Something's coming up, so I have to go. I'm gonna eat out tonight. It's what the note said. This wasn't the first time he had done something like this. Each time he only told me he had to go to Okinomiya for something. but I knew the real reason because I heard him talking on the phone once. Dina must have had some free time between jobs and asked him to out to have dinner together. I heaved a sigh looking at the new living room, and I hated and went to my room. Because Dina is a bad person. I thought back over what I just heard at the coffee house. I tried to rationalize the meaning of her actions there. Maybe she had to pretend to be a bad person because she was being threatened by the man. But even after the man she called Tet-chan left the table, she continued to threaten the guys and push them into signing the loan contract immediately. If she was threatened to play along with the man, she wouldn't have done that. If she was pretending to be a bad person, she could have shown a little bit of mercy or sympathy when he left her alone with them. It's like holding water in a bowl you made with your hands. No matter how dirty you made the bowl, water would leak from your fingers. Mercy and sympathy leak out from you. But nothing, not even a drop of water, leaked from Rina-san. Ugh. Freaking disgusting. Oh, Nina-san. Nina-chan, why do you have to suffer like this? Her hands weren't even moist. They were all dried up. There's no water that could leak through those hands. Nina-san was threatening those guys as much as the man was. Neither was feeding the other along. They were doing it together. That was it. Nina-san is a bad person. My brain cells accepted the idea with applause. After all, I always hated Nina-san. I just couldn't accept the feeling because my father liked her. But at that moment, I could finally accept it. She's a bad person, just like my mother. She's an existence that will ruin everything and destroy my father's happiness just by being with him. But I wonder why my father would understand that Nina's son is a bad person I wonder if my father would understand that Nina's son is a bad person if I told him so. My father likes her so much that he would jump over a cliff if she asked him to. He has everything she does or she says is great, and he interprets everything about her in a positive way. He protects her and praises her without asking him to. I'm not a kid anymore. I understand how a woman can tame a man. It's different from love. Love is about trying to build a relationship. Taming is just a way of satisfying the lust to dominate. She's just trying to make him into her slave. Women can deceive men, even my father. They can use dirty methods to ensure men like they're following a manual. It's a weak point all men are born with. Even with a strong will, they can't resist it. That's why we hate those women who exploit that weak point to deceive men. That's why I couldn't bring myself to like Ina-san. For the sake of argument, let's assume I acknowledge and I acknowledge an reciprocated love like that. But that would only be as long as it was love. If it wasn't love, if it was a method to threaten and squeeze money out of him, I would never forgive her. I remember her conversation at the coffee house. Nina-san said that my father is a big spender. In fact, I think he spends more money without hesitation than before he met Nina-san. I was happy that he started to regain an interest in going out into the world again, but now I don't know whether I should be happy or not. He controls the money of the Ryugu family overall, but since I do the grocery shopping, he often gives me his bank book so I can withdraw money. Because of that, I know where he keeps his bank book, his personal seal, and other important stuff. They're in one of his drawers, which he usually locks. I know where he hides the key, and I know the combination of the cash box inside the drawer. He might be coming back soon, so I felt a little nervous, but I had to make sure. I opened the cash box which had some bank books, personal seals, stamps, and unused postcards. I removed everything from the cash box to get at the new bank books, and I found something new. On the bottom of the box, there was a bundle of new 10,000 yen bills. Its thickness wasn't something I could ignore. There was also a paper wrapper that looked like it had been built bundling the bills. The wrapper had a stamp that had said it was a bundle of 1,000,000 yen. He usually kept some cash at home because it was troublesome to go to the bank every time he needed money. But it was usually around 100,000, 200,000 yen at most. He never kept such a big amount of money at home before because he knew it was unsafe. An extraordinary amount of 10,000 yen bills was abnormally intimidating. I tried to open the banknote, but my fingers got numb all of a sudden. A part of me was trying to deny the things I heard at the coffee house. It wasn't because I wanted to defend my father or even defend Dina-san. It was because I didn't want to believe my father was the husband. I didn't want to believe my father was the husband in Hinamizawa the blackmailers were talking about. I opened up the banknote. The last time I saw it was about 2 or 3 months ago. It shows countless withdrawals since that day. I probably wouldn't normally understand what those numbers meant. But I felt in that moment as if the 10 different digits were speaking to me. They were a series of cruel digits. It starts with understanding expenses that I assume were represent dinners or something. But then the amount of money starts to become nice round numbers like a 5 or a 10. I can tell by looking at the dates he withdrew money that he wanted to have a certain amount of cash at hand when he went out with Ina-san. Among those expenses, a big number appeared all of a sudden. It was too much money to spend on a date. Hundreds of thousands of yen. I looked at the date of the withdrawal and I traced it back in my memory. I remembered around that time, you know what Lina-san was talking about moving into a new apartment. I know the market rate of rental apartments in Okinomiya. You need to put down 2 safety deposits and 2 payments of key money in order to rent an apartment. That amount of withdrawal sounded reasonable now. He paid the whole down payment for her new apartment. After that, new big numbers appeared one after another. I could tell they were for congratulatory gifts for her new apartment or something. The numbers got bigger and bigger. It looked like at first he was withdrawing only the amount of money he needed, but then he started withdrawing big amounts all at once because he knew he was going to use it someday anyway. The change meant only one thing. He lost his sense of the value of money. The balance kept going down, and I started feeling anxious about what's going to happen if he continues to spend money like that. But then, I saw a deposit of a big amount of money into the account. Where did that money come from? There's only one thing I could think of. I opened the other bank book. It was easy, like a puzzle for kids. It was like playing with an easy jigsaw that comes with huge pieces that you don't even have to put together to see what the whole picture looks like. My father was using money from his time deposits. In other words, the settlement my mother paid my father when he divorced him. To him, it's cursed money. I understand if he wanted to use it to get a new love, but it was just an excuse to use the money from his time deposits. Money is money. Even though it's his divorce alimony, it's still important money to our future. Even though it's cursed money to him, that doesn't mean he can waste it. Big expenses start appearing one after another. There are many expenses, upwards of 6 digits. For some reason, I could immediately tell they were for buying electronic appliances and furniture. He must have been buying everything she asked him to. If from the beginning, Lina-san was only seeing to check if he could end up being a big catch, she must have been trying to find out how much money he could squeeze out of him. And my father brought her anything she wanted to, no matter how expensive it was, so she probably thinks of him as the perfect catch now. The numbers in the bank book told me so. The simple numbers and dates of the bank book had started talking to me. Around the time he started withdrawing big amounts of money, Lina-san started coming to the house more often, and she started spending the night. So Lina-san, my father was at first just a guy who spends big money, but around that time, she landed her big catch. My father used to refer to her as my friend in Okinomiya at first, but he started to refer to her as Lina-san around that time. This is particularly his fault, but he was betrayed by his beloved wife, and he was feeling hurt and down for a long time. It was also partially my fault. That's why I didn't want to blame him. And he's not that good looking either. There's no way he's immune to women. He must have not been able to resist an attractive lady who was aggressively approached him when he was feeling down. He's crazy about Lina-san, and he can see nothing other than her. I can't blame him because Lina-san trained him to be that way. I put the banknotes and the other things back into the cash box. This cash box is just like my father's heart. Lina-san is eating up the contents. Just what should I do? Thank you, Rena. Should I tell him about Lina-san's scheme? No, that probably won't do anything. The whole point of taming an animal is that I won't run away from its owner, even when the door is wide open. My father's probably wouldn't leave the cage even if I opened the door. Should I confront Lina-san about her plot when he's with her? The results would be the same. Lina-san would run behind his back. He'd probably try to protect her. If she pressed her breast around against his back, he'd protect her no matter what. I couldn't make this a problem between me and him. First of all, I was trying to get rid of Lina-san for her sake. If we got mad at each other, it would give the advantage to Lina-san. It would be like I was putting myself to her trap. Then that meant I couldn't make him do anything. If I couldn't make him break up with Lina-san, I'd have to talk to Lina-san directly. So instead of making my friend father fight, I'd have to fight in this place. But how? That guy, Kasai-san, who was with Shi-chan today, seemed to know the man Lina-san was with. I wonder if I can somehow meet him again. He looks scary, but I was introduced to him as a friend of Mi-chan. Mi-chan has a lot of power around here. There's no way he would treat me badly. I wonder if he could tell Lina-san and the man to back off from my father. That helped me a lot, but I didn't know how I could meet him again. I could ask Mi-chan for help, but I don't want her to know about my situation. This is a problem of the Ryugu family. This is nobody's business but mine. Yes, this is a battle that I have to fight alone. I regretted my parents' divorce. I read about the tragedy that I could have prevented if I tried. I wasn't going to weep this time. I wasn't going to let the chance slip away. This time, I would fight for my happiness. Husband in Hinamizawa accidentally uncover a horrible truth. Okay, property estimate. Dear Mamiya Ritsuko-sama, Executive Housing Corporation. Attached estimate. We thank you for your past visits and inquiries to our office. We've included the estimate for the property you inquired about. Basic information. Property name, Palace of Versailles, room 707. Property code, 14M1421. Property type, modern condominium. Layout, 2LDK. Address, Shishibone-shi, Koiwacho, Ichome. Transportation, line, Gogura Station, 5 minutes on foot. Cost, 49,800. 49 million, 800 yen. 800,000 yen. Maintenance fee, 20,000 yen. Other. Southwest corner, southeast corner room, elevator floor. condominium fitness club membership included. Thank you for your interest in this property. The area around Gogoro Station is a prime real estate zone for luxury condominiums, along with future planned developments. The real estate values in and around of Gogoro Station are expected to rise, and this property is not an exception. As a result, many prospective buyers are interested in this property. Hence, we'd like for you to understand that the lottery selection for this property will be done via lottery! Lol, lottery. Gotta love lottery. Oh yeah, this is around bubble. This is set around the Japanese bubble time, during the Japanese real estate bubble. Keep that in mind with the price. Also, we offer celebrity member preferential treatment, granting highly improved chances through additional lottery entries. Please feel free to inquire with our agents with more details. Executive Housing Corporation Celebrity Account Manager, Kawabata. Oh my god, everything is like crumbling right in front of her because of freaking Gina-san, Disco-san. Okay. Back to this music, because that's how we feel right now, after learning about everything. Very disgusting people. Ritsuko-san and Teppei-san. Oh yeah, I don't want to talk too much else about that topic, just that it's disgusting. Disgusting! Anyways, thank you so much for coming to Yuki's Higurashi stream. Arigato nya. Okay, so before we end stream today, if you haven't yet, be sure to follow Yuki's socials, Yuki no SNS. So follow Shinya. Schedule for next week. The schedule will be, I will post my schedule tomorrow, but schedule next week will most likely be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's it. Rest of the week I probably can't stream. I mean, I'm not going anywhere. I just have stuff to do that I have to do. Oh yeah. But yeah, starting Monday, we go back to our 9 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Pacific starting time. Let me be happy. Even though this song is BGM is kind of blah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I will post my schedule tomorrow. And we will start, and it will be a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday streaming schedule, and we will start, what do you call it?
we will go back to the 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific start time for streaming start time. はい、明日にスケジュールをSNS でスケジュールを投稿するにゃ。来週、はい、来週、火水木に配信するにゃ。全部の配信は、10時半、10時日本時間。に配信するにゃ。Okay, okay. Okay, so anyways, we'll end it for today. Oh, I feel really... oh, Rena-chan, nande? Why do... like, Rena, why do you have to suffer like this? It's not fair. Oh yeah, we'll end it for today. Okay, so anyways, thank you so much for coming to Yuki's Higurashi stream. Arigato nya! Yuki will be back on Monday. Or check Yuki's socials for tomorrow for updates to Yuki's schedule. But anyways, Yuki hopes to see you all on Monday. So anyways, ochi nya. 火曜日に会いましょうにゃ。バイバーイ。